Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg McConey here. We are with the CleanRacing.net Truck Series on Monday night. Welcome to beautiful Bristol, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, as I said, my name is Greg McConey. I'm filling in for Tony Trapasso here tonight. Tony is a little under the weather, so I was asked to step in and bring you all this beautiful show here with these guys. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. We are going flag to flag here. We will get interviews with our top three finishers once we get to the end of this race. We have 160 laps here tonight. This is round number 7 for these folks. So let's take a quick look here and see if we can pull up the weather. Pardon me, folks. I'm having a little bit of a issue getting the weather pulled up, but in the meantime we'll take a quick discussion here about your point leaders coming into tonight. After last week's victory at Texas, Trevor Ryan has 3 wins on the seasons now, 1 pole. He has led 117 laps, the most by anybody in this league. He currently sits up top with 263 points. Larry Stubblefield sits in second with 215. Tom Richter in third at 212. Greg Barnett at 193 is in 4th place. And Brian Toole is in 5th with 191 points here. These guys are ready to go here tonight. This is a fixed setup league. Don't forget, there's no fast repairs. And at a short track like this, we're beating and banging and rubbing off each other in the corners is expected. You better be smart, because these trucks are very easy to damage and they are very tough to get fixed again. But as we see the clock up top wind down, we are going to be getting ready here to go into qualifying in 2, 1. It's time to qualify, folks. They have 2 laps here. Let's see what these boys are capable of. As the session gets kicked right on over, we'll take a look here. And our first driver out on track tonight is going to be nobody just yet. Here it is. Looks like Kevin Haas is going to be the first one possibly coming off of pit road. There he is in that 51 Budweiser machine. Beautiful scheme tonight for Kevin. I'm going with Haas. I believe that's how it is. Sammy Dale you see there, as well as Trevor Ryan and Jeremy Morrison. Those 4 cars right now are the ones out getting ready to start their first lap. We're going to stick with Kevin here. He's the first across the line to start his green flag lap. See him running a beautiful line through the middle of 1 and 2. Does the same in 3 and 4, trying to get that good run off the corner and make that turn as wide as he can. Kevin's going to jump to the top with a 15.06. Sammy Dale second, now third, 4th currently. As we see these times all start flying in, you're going to need to give us a second here with this ticker. We seem to have been, since SDK has done some updates recently, we've had some issues with the ticker during qualifying. We'll get that squared away and taken care of. Don't you worry about that. Kevin puts in another time at a 14.9. That currently has him sitting 5th fastest. Larry Stubblefield currently on track right now, getting ready to cross the line. He does not improve, or he does run a faster time, does not improve his position. Still a 14.82 has him in 2nd place. Tom Richter, your current leader right now, with a 14.76. Take a look at James Nelson, just finishes up there. He is sitting P3 at a 14.82 as well. Caleb Smith is finished. Chris Smith coming across the line right now in this 14 machine. Oops. And it looks like my SDK decided it wanted to act up. Give me 1 second, folks, and I will get that all reloaded for you very quickly. But as we see right now, Greg Barnett finishes up. Culp right now is out on track. He's getting ready to start his first lap. We'll take a look at Joey Steers. Finishes his first lap at a 15:61. He's getting ready to start his second lap here. Or getting ready to finish his second lap, I should say. Takes it up to P2 with a 14:79. Culp right now coming out of turn 4, looking to put up a fast lap. Does not improve his time of a 14:98. He is currently P11. Right now, everybody, your top 5, Tom Richter, Joey Steers, Larry Stubblefield, James Nelson, and Trevor Ryan, your current points leader, sitting 5th place at the moment. Nobody else is out on track at this time. So we're going to take a quick look and get this SDK file fixed up for everybody. While all this is going on, still nobody's out on track. I'm keeping an eye on everything as this is all going on, so don't you worry about that. If we see somebody jump out there, we will absolutely get you there and watch their lap times. But right now, we've still got about a minute 10 left in the session. Still nobody's hitting out on track. But we see beautiful Bristol, Tennessee here, folks. We're short track racing tonight with these boys in the trucks. Expect these trucks to be fast and aggressive, and these guys are really able to drive through the corner as much as they want. You're going to see a lot of folks take it easy, more on the beginning. You're going to really need to focus on keeping your tires clean, keeping everything moving forward right now. With about 30 seconds left, nobody else has taken to the track. So we'll run through your top 10. Like I said, your top 5, Tom Richter, Joey Steers, Larry Stubblefield, James Nelson, and Trevor Ryan make out your top 5. Sammy Dale in the 888 is sitting in 6th with Caleb Smith in 7th, Kevin Haas in 8th, Chris Smith in 9th, and Dominique Rossi sits in 10th place right now. As we see, still waiting about 5 more seconds before qualifying has concluded, and these guys are going to be jumping back onto pit road, getting ready to go here tonight for this event. We're going to take 1 second and make sure that I have this all set up as we see trucks start to line up here on pit road. These guys still have a little bit of time. Currently right now, let's run through the rest of your qualifying results. Right now, Tom Richter, like I said, Joey Steers, Larry Stubblefield, James Nelson, Trevor Ryan, your top 5. Sammy Dale, Caleb Smith, Kevin Haas, Chris Smith, Dominique Rossi make up your top 10. In 11th, Culp. Jay Culp is in 11th. Jeremy Morrison is starting on the outside of row number 6. Row number... Why isn't that? Sorry about that, folks. There it is. All right, 13th is Kevin Allen. I'm going to go with Ken. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Jeremy LaRoque is in 14th. 15th, Daniel Sykes. 16th, Mike McCrate. Greg Barnett is in 17th with Shane Calhoun in 18th. Tommy Osborne starts in 19th with Lane Hosler starting in P20. P21, Brian Toole, and P22, James Rayburn Jr. in that 31 machine. Timothy Cook starts in 23rd in that 29. And rounding out the field tonight in 24th is Frederick Garcia in the 3 machine. We've got a lot of great drivers here tonight, folks. Once again, we are 160 laps away from figuring out who is winning this race. And as of right now, like I stated, Trevor Ryan has a 48-point lead tonight as they get going. Yeah, and that's for those that don't know this point system, that is essentially one full race that Trevor has over second place right now, which, if I remember correctly, was Larry Stubblefield. So Larry currently sitting right now in P4 in that beautiful number 82 machine. I believe actually, no, he's P3. He's starting P3 tonight, so we're going to have a good session. Joey, thank you. Joey Stiers. I just got, I was informed here. Joey, thank you for that. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation. But as we get going, these guys getting ready. Make sure I've got the right camera angle on. As we see everybody get lined up, they're getting ready to take the green flag this time around. Pace lights are off on the official iRacing pace car here. As we see it dive off to the bottom. Here they come, coming into turn one, out of turn 4 to take the green flag. Joey Stiers and Tom Richter. Joey gets the lead on that high side, coming out of turn 2, gets a beautiful run down this front straightaway, dives it back to the bottom in turns 3 and 4. Tom right on his heels, trying to diamond the corner a little bit, but give lap 1 to Joey Stiers here as we get moving along here. Looking a little bit further back, we'll take a look at this battle for 3rd and 4th place. Larry Stubblefield still sitting in P3 ahead of James Nelson. Right behind them, we see a battle with the 51 and the 14 machine. You're going to see tonight a lot of folks are going to prefer that bottom lane early on. There's a lot of grip down there. But as this run progresses and as these guys get more and more laps on these tires, everybody's going to start rolling up to the high side. Now, some folks, once everybody kind of single files out, you're going to see really start to come at the corner one of two different ways as we have a yellow flag here. Let's go back and take a look while everybody lines up. Looks like Greg Barnett is the reason for caution here right now. Greg in that 38 machine. Gets right up to the back end of that 008, dives underneath, and just tries to merge up. Was not clear, didn't have it. Thought that he was going to have that 008 cleared coming out of the corner. Mike McCrate sadly did not have it. We're going to take a look. It looks like Larry Stubblefield as well was involved in this incident. Big checking up front. We'll see here. Looks like a lot of folks just slowing up, trying to get caught up by the pace car. Yep, everybody just slowing up there. So 008 and the 38, the only two drivers involved really in that incident. Culp right now thought about coming down pit road, didn't actually he did come down pit road just very briefly. So the other thing to know tonight, folks, here at Bristol, these guys are running a single pit road entry, which means you come in turn 4, in turn 2, you come out in turn 1. You have to go all the way around at this beautiful little short track before you are able to exit back onto the pits. This is typically what a lot of the NASCAR does with the Cup Series and all of their 3 top series, mainly under yellow. But then what they do is under green, you are able to come in only on your side of pit road. So if you're pitting on the front stretch, they let you come in turn 4, exit out in turn 1. If you are pitting on the back stretch, you come in into exit out of turn 3. Right now, Timothy Cook was on pit road lap 1, believe with a missed start. James Rayburn on pit road as well, and Culp also decided to come in and pit. Back up front, pace light still on. Joey Stiers still leading here, up one position from the start of the race. He took the lead going into turn one on that high side, and he has not looked back. Now, the interesting thing is Joey is going to be taking the inside line here. I believe these guys have the ability for the leader to choose whether they want inside or outside. I am not 100% sure on that, but I believe that is the case. Stiers electing the inside for this restart. He's got Tom Richter on his outside. Larry Stubblefield sitting in third. James Nelson in fourth. Trevor Ryan still sitting in fifth place here. As the pace car is off, the green flag's in the air. Joey gets a fantastic launch. Pulls out ahead by almost 0.3 of a second on Tom Richter. Tom's going to try and get back to his rear bumper here coming out of turn 4. Not able to take it. Give lap number 10 to Joey. As these guys are batting it out, we've got a battle starting to brew for fourth place with Caleb Smith trying to chase down Larry Stubblefield for third. Not able to do so just yet. Take a look a little further back. The 008 of McCrate having a little bit of trouble here with that beat up right side that you can see, and a little bit of left front damage as well. He is currently sitting P19. Right now, your closest battle is for P9 between Kevin Haas and Jeremy Morrison. Morrison looking to the inside, dives it deep underneath that 51 of Haas, tries to clear him. He's going to have the low line going back into turn 3 here. Not able to roll the center of that corner to keep up his speed. He's going to have to back off and try it again. While this battle's going on for 9th, we've got a battle brewing for 3rd and 4th place. Caleb Smith able to use the low lane and get around Larry Stubblefield. Give Caleb P3, Larry back to P4, and he's got a mirror full of James Nelson and Trevor Ryan as those two are battling side by side here. As I said before, that outside line is advantageous. On the long run, you see a little bit of a wiggle there out of that 7 machine. Really because you're able to save a little bit more tire from what I found, and you're able to roll the center of the corner so much better. Now give it a little bit longer, and you're going to see these guys either continue to roll, or you're going to see some folks do what a lot of drivers call diamonding the corner, which means you're going to enter in very low, let the car drift up in the center to kind of hit that apex, and then they're going to rotate that car hard to get back down to have a straight drive off on the exit of the corner. A lot of folks prefer that late in the run. As we look back there, right now the battle is brewing for the lead. Tom Richter is at the rear bumper of Joey Stiers, all over that rear view mirror of that number 23 machine. These guys have pulled out to almost a 1.5 second lead over P3 of Caleb Smith. There's another little battle that's going to be forming there between Smith, Stubblefield, and Nelson, but right now we're going to keep our eyes on these leaders here. As that battle seems to have leveled out a little bit, we're going to go back for this battle for 3rd. Caleb Smith gets passed by Larry Stubblefield in that 82 machine, uses that high line to his advantage now. Larry starts to pull ahead, and James Nelson is now battling with Caleb, trying to pull ahead. You're seeing that top line really become advantageous. Caleb Smith is having a heck of a time down on that bottom, just not able to get that car rotating like he wants. Trevor Ryan now using that outside to try and get himself around that 7 of Nelson. I'm sorry, not of Nelson, of Caleb Smith in that 98, and he does so. Put Trevor back up to 5th. Caleb Smith currently in P6. He's able to get himself back to that high line. Does a great job there. As you see right behind him, Chris Smith and Sammy Dale both working their way around. Chris able to get ahead of Caleb. Sammy Dale looking to do the same. We have a great fight here in this P8 position. P7, P8, P9, all on top of each other. As you see, 2 wide right behind them of Kevin Haas and Lane Hosler. Kevin using that outside. We saw him up there earlier. Does a great job rolling the center of that corner to get himself ahead of that 61 of Lane Hosler, who currently is your biggest mover tonight, up 10 positions as we are on lap 30 of 160 here, folks, for round number 7 here at Bristol for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Up front, it's still Stiles ahead of Richter, now by almost a second and a half. Larry Stubblefield currently sitting about 1.4 back, and we've got a yellow flag as you saw Kevin Haas go around. Let's go take a look at what happened here. That 51 machine rolling that middle to high line. Has to check up hard because of that 888. Not to get into the rear end of him too much. Oh! 008 gets around, catches the 51. Kevin just in the wrong place at the wrong time there. Nothing he could really do. That 008 is Mike McCrate. We'll go back and take one more look on Mike McCrate, see exactly what happened with him. McCrate is a lap down at this point. He's racing, doing what he needs to do, trying to stay the lucky dog here. Gets a little tight out of the corner, gets a little help from behind. Nothing he can do at that point. Him and the 51 sadly are both just stuck in a position they couldn't get out of. While we are under this yellow flag, we are going to take a quick commercial break here, folks. Hang tight. We will be right back for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Welcome back, folks. This is the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, round number 7 here at Bristol Motor Speedway tonight. My name's Greg McConey, filling in for my good friend Tony Trapasso. Folks, while we're here, we need to thank our sponsors that have helped us bring this show to you, and that is RingsideReport.net. Are you a wrestling or MMA fan? Then RingsideReport.net is the place for you. Come listen to veteran broadcaster Dave Simon and his group of friends discuss the latest news in these sports. Tune in on Thursday nights and listen to CleanRacing.net driver Frederick Garcia talk some MMA. With a minimum of 4 shows a week, RingsideReport.net is your home for WWE, AEW, and UFC discussions. Thank you to Ringside Report Network for their support tonight of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. We are currently on lap 37 of 160 tonight. These folks have put on a heck of a race so far, only minor incidents. As we see, the pace lights are off as the truck comes out of turn number 2. Or as these trucks come out of turn number 2 down the short backstretch into turn 3. Joey Steyer's still your leader here in that 23 machine. Tom Richter still in second place. Larry Stubblefield and James Nelson make up row 2. Pace car dives off. Let's see if Joey takes an early launch. He gets another good one within that restart zone. Pulls up to that middle line. Blocks off Tom Richter as Tom now has his mirrors full of Larry Stubblefield and James Nelson hounding that 34 machine. All this is going on. Steyer's pulling out to a 4/10 of a second lead. These folks are single filed out, but just behind them, the 14 and 18 of Chris Smith and Trevor Ryan battled it side by side. Now the 98 and the 888 fight their way around here in this battle for P7. Everybody up to your top, everybody in your top 13 has not come down pit road yet. Culp has come down. He came down on lap number 5. Jeremy Morrison, Brian Toole, James Rayburn, Greg Barnett, Tommy Osborne, Shane Calhoun all came down under that, as well as Frederick Garcia all came down under that last caution. Taking 4 tires, what looks like 4 tires for several of those drivers. Let's take a look a little further back. We got a good battle here between the 15 and 42 machines. Jeremy LaRocque and Dominique Rossi. As we have another yellow here on lap 44. Let's go back and take a look at exactly what happened. It's like Brian Toole, Shane Calhoun, and Frederick Garcia all involved in this. Riding right now with Brian Toole in that 99 machine. Looks like he's trying to check up. Looks like the 66. Oh! Several drivers involved in that. 99.3, we talked about those guys, but that all looked like it started with the 66 of Daniel Sykes. Let's go back and see if we can see exactly what happened to Sykes during this little incident. Oh, my bad, folks. Click the wrong button. As we take a look at this 66 machine here, I believe this is where it happened. No, it was still further up. It was a 42 of Dominic Rossi. Got caught up in that a little bit. We're going to go one more time and see. We saw this battle with the 42 and the 61. 98 catches the wall. 42 had nowhere to go. Hard into that outside wall, and it's just a stack up behind of all those drivers. Nowhere for a lot of them to go, sadly. Then you see back here the 99 tried to jump to the bottom, wasn't able to get down there in time, and ended up getting caught up with a couple other drivers. So we're going to jump back live as you see a lot of folks down pit road this time, getting damage fixed, taking a new set of tires if they have it. I don't know how many tires they have here tonight, folks. I believe probably 4. I'm going to guess 4 sets. I saw that's what they had at Texas. So these guys Ideally getting a fresh set of rubber here as we are on lap 47 of 160. Joey Steyer's still up front. Larry Stubblefield now has taken himself up to P2. James Nelson in P3. Chris Smith P4. And Sammy Dale rounds out your top 5. Lane Hostler in the 61, the only other car to not pit yet tonight in that 61 machine. See, that 61's got a little bit of damage on that right rear. It's going to loosen that truck up a little bit. Shouldn't hurt him too badly. It may actually be a little advantageous for him, because these trucks tend to build tight as this run goes on. So having that little bit of right rear damage may actually help him out, getting that truck turned quicker through the center. We will run through real quick. The rest of your top 10 should be Tom Richter, Trevor Ryan, Daniel Sykes, and Jeremy LaRoque should be your top 10 drivers here tonight. As we see everybody doubling back up, getting ready to take the 1 to go signal. We have it. The pace lights are off, folks. Steyers was able to take the lead on the initial start of tonight's race, get himself up to the lead off that outside line. Did a great job rolling the center. And right now, he's going to have control here as the pace car is in turns 3 and 4 right now, getting ready to dive onto pit road. We'll see exactly what Steyers does here. Gets an early launch again, pulls ahead of Larry Stubblefield in that 82 machine. Larry's got that 7 to James Nelson to his inside. The 888, Sammy Dale now diving to the bottom, trying to get himself into that podium position. Not able to do so. Just behind him, Lane Hostler in that 61 machine. The 14 of Chris Smith battle it out side by side. Here comes Tom Richter. He came in and pit under lap 45, and we've got ourselves another yellow. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened here. Looks like it may have been Culp during this incident, and I'm going to believe so. Yep, Culp in the 3 had a little bit of contact. We're going to go back. Going to be a little unprofessional here, folks. You're going to see us rewind time. So you see the 88 of Culp trying to get underneath that 3 wide. A little bit of net code. Puts that 88 around, and the 52 there of Kevin Ayland has nowhere to go. Culp still sitting on pit lane at the moment. Actually, looks like he may have backed off for now. We're going to go back up and see what's going on up here. We are currently on lap 54 of 160 tonight, folks. Once again, I am Greg McConey, filling in for my good friend Tony Trapasso, who's a little bit under the weather. You're watching the CleanRacing.net Truck Series for round number 7 here at Bristol tonight. 160 laps on the docket for us. We are already over a third of the way through this race, and these guys have put on a heck of a show. For everybody in the chat, hope all is well. Hoping to see everybody there. Feel free to jump in, comment. Let us know what you're thinking, who you're rooting for tonight. We'll be sure to do our best to get them featured here. Also, if you're listening in, be sure to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube at Sim Racing Media. Does a great job supporting us, lets us know you all enjoy the content that you're seeing, as well as helps get that broadcast out to other people that might be looking at anything iRacing related. The more likes and shares that we get, it helps with the algorithms to get our content out to more folks, helps us get other leagues involved, keep more people interested, and keep more shows and races coming up for everybody here every single night of the week. I believe we are back to every single night now of having at least one show. I know tonight I think we've got 2 other shows as well that are happening. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow all the content that you want to see. So we get ready to start lap 56, folks. I don't know what just happened with my mic, but we are back under green, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Stiers does a great job. Lane Hosler in that 61 machine up to P2. Tom Richter in P3 in that 34. He pitted on lap 45. Joey Stiers and Lane Hosler are your 2 drivers that have not pitted yet tonight. Richter runs the fastest Sector 1 so far of tonight's race. As we look a little bit further back, we've got a battle brewing for 5th place. That's 66 of Daniel Sykes trying to hold off the 15 of Jeremy LaRoque. And right behind LaRoque, Larry Stubblefield doing a great job now. Larry pitted on lap 53 under that last yellow. Was in his pit stall for 15 seconds, getting a little bit of damage fixed as well as a new set of tires. And those fresh tires get him up to the 66, but it sounds like we've got another yellow here on lap 61. Let's go back and take a look. From what I'm seeing, it looks like Greg Barrett involved in this one. We're looking at Barrett in that 38 machine. Rolling that middle line, diamonding the exit of that corner. Big gaggle of cars ahead of him. Looks like the 888 and the 14 get together, and that just collects that 38 machine. Nowhere for Barnett to go when that incident happened with Sammy Dale and Chris Smith. Once again, folks, I apologize. I don't know what happened with my mic after that last break. It looks like my mic had shut off on me. I sincerely apologize for that. I was sitting here just talking to myself. If you were in the room with me and you had your broadcast up, you probably would think I'm a crazy fool sitting here talking to myself. But I digress. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I'm Greg McConey, filling in for Tony Trapasso. The CleanRacing.net Truck Series here. We have 160 laps on the docket for Bristol. We are on lap 63, getting ready to come to 64 now. We've had a heck of a show from these drivers so far. Joey Stiers has started outside pole for this race, took the lead coming out of turn 2 and has not looked back since. He also has not pit yet. So that truck is on 63 lap old tires, 64 now. Even with a little bit of yellow, that's something that Joey's got to keep his eye on. Lane Hosler as well has not come in and pit. So these two on the front row need to be a little cautious of that tire spin on this next restart here. We'll run through the rest of your top 5. Tom Richter sits in 3rd with Trevor Ryan in 4th. Daniel Sykes in 5th place. Now those 3 all pitted on lap 45, along with your 6th place driver, Jeremy LaRoque, pitted on lap 45 as well, taking 4 and fuel. Larry Stubblefield pitted on lap 53. He is currently sitting in P7 with Dominic Rossi, who also pitted on lap 45 back in 8th. Jeremy Morrison and James Nelson round out your top 10. Both of those drivers pitted on lap 53 as well. Right now, Ken Ayland pitted on lap 62. Him, Sammy Dale, Shane Calhoun, Chris Smith, James Rayburn, all pitted under this yellow. Got 4 fresh tires, got some damage fixed. They are right there. So keep your eye on this 52 machine. He's got a little bit of nose damage on that CSX Toyota, but we'll see what it can do for him. See, those fresh tires are absolutely going to help, as he's going to try and work his way back up front. But as of right now, nobody has had an answer for Joey Stiers. As we see, the pace lights are off, getting ready to come down the back straightaway right now. We'll take a look at this view for the restart so you can really see this field and how everybody's going to enter into the corner here. As the pace car pulls off, Stiers holds that group up. Gets a good launch, though. Pulls ahead of Lane Hostler. Rolls that bottom line. We are back racing under green. That's 61. Gets a good run on the high side. He's going to look outside. He's going to get to the rear bumper for a second. Not there on corner exits, though. Right behind him, Tom Richter in that 34 machine. He's been up front as well. He started on pole, so we know he has a fast Chevy Silverado here tonight. He's to the inside of Lane Hostler. Not able to get clear as they come out of turn number 2 down the short backstretch. Tom trying to use the advantage of those fresher tires, 45 lap freshers to be 45 lap fresher to be exact. Not able to get there. As we see a little further back, the battle is on for 6th place. Daniel Sykes, Larry Stubblefield, Jeremy Morrison, all fighting. As you see the 7 up top right now. James Nelson gets around the outside of the 42 of Rossi. Big run there for the 75 of Morrison. Gets himself clear of that 66 of Daniel Sykes. And while all this has been going on, we're going to jump back up, and you're going to see a change for 2nd place. Tom Richter gets the nose ahead, gets himself clear, slides up on exit. Tom is now up back into P2 where we saw him most of the race early on. Lane Hostler up 17 positions from the start tonight. Sits in P3. He's got Trevor Ryan now to his inside. Just not clear, just not close enough as they come across the stripe. But he's going to get the nose ahead coming out of turn 2. Going to try and keep that bottom rolling. Not clear yet, not clear. Ooh. Lane does a great job giving him a break there coming out of turn number 4. You saw that little bit of contact. Lane decided to back off a little more instead of pushing the pressure too much, as both Tom Richter and Trevor Ryan have fresher tires than him by 45 laps. As we see the battle now on 4P1 between Richter and Stiers. Big slide out of Richter coming out of 4. You can tell he's pushing this truck as hard as he can right now, trying to use the advantage of fresher tires. He is all over that back bumper of your leader. Not close enough to get to the outside coming out of turn 2. He's going to try and make it in 4. Not there. Give another lap to Joey. Doing a great job. You see a little bit of lap traffic there. I believe that is Kevin Haas. No, that is the 31 machine of James Rayburn. Does a great job keeping it up high and letting these two leaders battle it out themselves. Great fight right now between Joey Stiers and Tom Richter up at the front. We do have another little battle between Lane Hosler and Larry Stubblefield a little bit further back. But right now, Richter gets his nose to the outside. He's at the door. He's at the front fender. Give the lap to Tom Richter, but he has not cleared Joey yet. You're going to see that happen here on the backstretch using that top line. Tom Richter back to the front here on lap 82, just past the halfway point. Tom Richter, your new leader here at Bristol. Now we saw what Tom was able to do, just hounding that back end of Joey for several laps, and was able to use that high line to his advantage. Trevor Ryan trying to do the same thing. He's going to get his nose just there, but not close enough on exit. Now he's got his nose there going into turns 3 and 4. They're even coming out on exit, but that high line has such an advantage. Give Trevor Ryan P2 and give Trevor Ryan clear inside as he sets his sights on Tom Richter, your leader here tonight. Here comes the 82 of Larry Stubblefield, who pitted on lap 53, so he has 8 lap fresher tires than your leader in second place. He's going to work his way around that 23 of Joey Stiers. He's going to clear himself coming off of turn 4. Larry has his sights now on Trevor Ryan in P2. Your current points leader is that 18 machine. While all this is going on, little bit of lap traffic there. That's going to hold up the 18. And that's going to give that 82 an easy turn around the outside. Lap traffic is going to be huge here tonight, folks. Especially with the difference in tires that we've seen from some of these drivers. Joey Stiers working, trying to catch back up to that 18 as the 18's working around that 008 machine. Ooh. Very close racing there as these guys fight it off. We're going to take a look back here in P9, P8, P9, P10, all battling around each other. That's Daniel Sykes, James Nelson, and Chris Smith. We're looking right now at Nelson in this 7 machine, but that 14 of Chris Smith is doing everything he can to use the slight tire advantage that he's got. He's got 9 lap fresher tires. He pitted on lap 62 under that last yellow, trying to use those tires to get ahead of that 7 machine, as that 7 is all over the back end of Daniel Sykes in that 66 Chevrolet. These guys going after each other right now, knowing that this is the best time when everybody's got tires that are still feeling good on these cars, I'll say, even though they're definitely starting to feel a little bit tight on entry. These guys doing a great job. As you see, the 14 Chris Smith gets to the door of the 7, not able to hold it on corner exit. While all this is going on, let's take a look at the onboard of Chris Smith. This is the banking that these guys are seeing. You hear the tires screaming as they enter and exit the corner right now. Chris Smith is able to get his nose ahead of James Nelson on the outside. Not fully clear yet. Now he is. And he's going to set his sights ahead of him on Daniel Sykes. Just looking to the inside of Sykes. He's going to get his nose there. He's going to be at his door on exit. Look at how tight these guys get. You heard Chris lift off the throttle so that he didn't roll up on exit into Sykes. Did a great job there to keep that car down on the bottom. And this is the type of racing that you expect here at Bristol. Very close quarters, two different lines happening. These guys are doing everything that they can. While all this is going on, I hate to break away from this battle because this is a fantastic one. Right now, I'm keeping my eye up on the fight of P2 between Larry Stubblefield and Trevor Ryan. Those two going after it. Chris Smith finally gets himself clear as he's going to pull his way ahead. As you do see a car down there on the bottom. That car is not for position with these guys. That is the 29, it looks like, of Timothy Cook. Cook a couple laps down. But we're going back up front here, folks. This is a battle that is brewing between the 34 of Richter, the 82 of Larry Stubblefield, and the 18 of Trevor Ryan. Lap traffic is wreaking havoc on these right now. As you see the big move by the 18 to pinch that 82 up behind the lap car of Dominic Rossi. Does a great job, and now that 18 has position, and he's got his sights aimed on Tom Richter. Here, getting ready to start lap 104, or getting ready to finish lap 104. Take a look on the gyro cam here of P2. Trevor Ryan, your current points leader here in the series. Won last week in Texas as well. That diehard Chevrolet just ahead of him is Tom Richter. Started on pole here tonight, did Richter. Lost the lead on lap 1 to Joey Stiers, but fought his way back, got the lead back around lap 80. Oh, very tight between the 11 there. Shane Calhoun, lap car, doing his best to hold that bottom line. And this is, as a racer myself on iRacing, this is fun to see. You see the different lines that these guys have. And with the progressive banking of Bristol, depending on where you run, it's going to change the handling and the feel of your car. So the higher up you go, the slight bit more banking you have. It's not much, but it's enough that you feel a little difference in that car. As we see right now, Richter out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, fighting his way through traffic. That's a 7 of James Nelson. Nelson currently P10. Just ahead of him, Daniel Sykes, P9 in that 66 machine. These leaders are picking them up and laying down some extremely fast laps right now. Everybody back to P8 of Kevin Allen is on the lead lap. Daniel Sykes, the first car, 1 lap down in that 66 machine. He's trying to hold off James Nelson in that 7, and the 888 machine of Sammy Dale doing a great job on that bottom line. These cars all fighting to be the lucky dog right now, and that's the 82 of Larry Stubblefield right there, trying to work his way through that battle. Right behind him, Joey Stiers trying to do the same thing of Mackinac, Illinois. This is one of your closest battles right now on track. These guys doing a great job working their way through lap traffic, trying to do everything they can to keep momentum going forward. That's 7 61 car fighting right now. Daniel Sykes takes it down pit road in that 66 machine on lap 117 of 160. Now the problem, like we said, this is a single pit road entry. So he has to enter in turn 2 and go all the way around. Even if he's pitting on the front, he has to go all the way around the track before he can exit back in turn 1. If you've got to come down for a green flag stop, you are going to have a long night, and you have to hope the leaders have to do the same. Right now, this battle for third place still hot and heavy between Stubblefield and Stiers. Just behind them is the battle between Nelson Morrison and Sammy Dale. These three drivers can't get away from each other. Tom Richter is in. The 34 machine pits from the lead and comes down pit road to make a green flag stop. Larry Stubblefield is in. Jamie LaRoque in as well. The 11 of Shane Calhoun, Mike McCrate in. These guys trying to take the advantage of fresh tires that they're going to see here. Trevor Ryan in as well. We'll take a look back up with this 34 machine. We see the right side going up. We're going to wait and see if there goes the left side of that truck. Joey Stiers in as well. Pits from the lead on lap 121. Coming down to make his 4-tire stop. Right now, from what we've got, if you come down pit road, you lose 2 laps. So that is very treacherous, that you've got to pray that if you have to come down for a green flag stop, that everybody else minds their P's and Q's. And around goes the 34 of Richter. Yellow flag is out. You saw him trying to work his way through lap traffic. That is not what Richter wanted to see. He is going to be trapped 2 laps down right now after that spin. Let's go back and take a look at exactly what happened. This is on cold tires of Richter in that 34. Does a great job getting himself up to speed. But these cold tires that iRacing, with this new tire model that iRacing has put together, it is very tough on cold tires. You just see a 3 wide and net code. That's net code between him and the 11. Oh, nothing you can do about that if you're that 34 machine. You saw a good gap between him. Yes, I'm going to be a little unprofessional here. I want to get back and show everybody this bit of net code that you see. Let's take a look and get a view from the chase. You can see right now they weren't even close between Calhoun and Richter. Nothing that 34 machine can do. He thought, and he knew he gave that 11 room. Oh, that's a shame to see there. Your leaders, top 5 are in, of James Nelson, Sammy Dale, Chris Smith, Jeremy Morrison, and Ken Ayland, all coming down pit road. Frederick Garcia in that 3-car elects to stay out. Looks like he's going to be coming in this time. He does. Garcia stays out, gets a lap led. And it's going to take us a minute, folks, to get everybody figured out on who is on what lap and where. While all this is going on, we're going to go pay some bills real quick. Once again, I'm Greg McConey. You are watching the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, round number 7 from Bristol. Hang tight, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, to the CleanRacing.net Truck Series here at Bristol. This is round number 7 of the Truck Series for these guys. We saw a fantastic long run happen, and due to what I'll call the commentator curse, which we hate to see, Tom Richter, with a bit of netcode between him and the 11 of Shane Calhoun, brings out the yellow, traps Richter 2 laps down. He's able to get the wave around to be 1 lap down. All right, now your leader is this 14 machine of Chris Smith. Outside is James Nelson in that 7. Ken Aylen sits in 3rd, Jeremy Morrison in 4th, and 5th place is Sammy Dale. Lane Hostler in 6th, tied for your biggest mover right now with the 3 car of Frederick Garcia. Both of those drivers up 14 positions. And through all of this, Trevor Ryan, Larry Stubblefield, Joey Stiers, and Frederick Garcia are back on the lead lap right now. We're going to go back up and look at your leader and watch Chris Smith here. Lights are off on the official iRacing pace car. Your first 2 rows are the only ones that are side by side. Everybody else single file due to when they pitted. See a lot of damage on the nose and the rear end of that 14. But Chris doing a great job right now. He's the control car. The pace car is off. Chris is waiting. Late launch. The 7 does a great job of Nelson. Is able to keep to his outside on this restart going into 1 and 2. He's going to have the speed advantage as the 14 gets loose. Big save from the 14 of Chris Smith there. As you see a stack up behind him with that 42 machine and others. Tom Richter in that 34 in that little group as well. James Nelson did a great job on that restart. He timed it perfectly. Got a little bit of luck right there with that 14 getting loose off a 2. Just drove the corner a little bit too hard. Jeremy Morrison now sitting in P2 with Ken Aylen in 3rd place in that 52 machine. These 3 right now have broken off to over a 1.5-second lead on this 888 of Sammy Dale, who's caught up behind the 29 machine of Timothy Cook. And Cook goes around. Oh, big wreck right back there. Lots of drivers involved. We see the 34 involved again. The 008, the 15, the 11, all caught up in that wreck. That happened with this 29 machine. We're going to go back and see exactly what happened. Let's go to the chopper view and you'll see it here. The 29 down on that bottom. He's able to pull himself ahead of that 888. Just not clear. 888 gives him a little bit of a bump. Another little bit of a bump. And around goes the 29. Nowhere for the 66. The 34 to go. Several other drivers that look like the 23 as well of Joey Stiers got caught up in that. Tried to lock it down. Was not able to get that truck woed up in time. Folks, that is what happens at a short track like Bristol. High banks, high speed, very close racing quarters. If there's a wreck ahead of you, there's typically nowhere for you to go. Right now, Stiers, Hostler, Richter, Tim Cook, and Daniel Sykes all on pit road right now, getting some damage and tires on those machines as we have 23 laps to go here at Bristol. While we're under yellow, we need to say a big thank you to our partners here for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series and Ringside Report Network. Are you a fan of wrestling or MMA fight? Are you a fan of wrestling or MMA? Then RingsideReport.net is the place for you. Come listen to veteran broadcaster Dave Simon and his group of friends discuss the latest news in these sports. Tune in on Thursday nights and listen to CleanRacing.net driver Frederick Garcia talk some MMA. With a minimum of 4 shows a week, RingsideReport.net is your home for WWE, AEW, and UFC discussions. Thank you to our partners at Ringside Report Network for helping to bring tonight's show here at Bristol for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Back up front, pace lights are still on. We are getting down to 20 laps to go this time around. Your current leader, James Nelson, up 3 positions from the start tonight. He's got Jeremy Morrison will be lining up next to him. Ken Ayland is in 3rd place with Sammy Dale in 4th. Chris Smith was the leader on that last restart, had a little bit of a moment coming out of turn 2. Did a great job not to collect the wall or collect other drivers. He is in P5. P6 is Trevor Ryan, your current points leader of the series. Frederick Garcia in that 3 cars in 7th with Joey Stiers back in P8. And rounding out P9 is going to be Lane Hosler. P10 is James Rayburn, getting himself back on the lead lap. This time the 82 of Larry Stubblefield, I believe, is also on the lead lap. Yes, he is. So 11 cars on the lead lap right now as we are coming back to have 18 laps to go with the green flag comes out. The pace lights are off. The pressure is heating up, folks. It's Bristol, baby. We're going to have some fun here under the lights in these trucks. These guys have done a great job all night long getting to the end here. But now the gloves come off, and it's all take, no give for these drivers here. As James Nelson is your leader, he's the control car. He gets to decide when to go. 75 of Morrison's going to try and time it. Nelson gets a great launch, as does the 52. We see a little bit of a stack up there with the 888 of Sammy Dale. Did not get the restart he wanted. Here comes the 18 of Trevor Ryan to his inside. 23 trying to do the same and follow the 18 through, is not able to do so. We're going to jump back up front. James Nelson holding currently a 0.2 of a second lead. And then we've got 0.6 back to Ken Ayland and Chris Smith. 16 laps to go right now, folks. If you had anything left in the tank for these 2 drivers, you need to put it down now. As you see, the 75 almost got to the rear bumper there of that 7 machine. 7 goes high, has to check up a little bit out of the corner. That's going to allow the 75 to get to his inside. Jeremy Morrison takes the lead. 14 laps to go. What a move by Morrison. As behind it looks like there's a yellow flag. It looks like Lane Hosler involved here, as we see him sitting sideways on the track. Shane Calhoun, I believe, involved as well. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Lane here. Rolling that outside line. Little bit of a wiggle there on corner exit. You see the 14 and 18 ahead of him. 61 dives it in, gets to the inside of the 14. Drifted up too far, was not clear. Collects the 14. The 14 collects the 42. Somebody else got in there real late. That's a tough break for that 61 machine of Hosler. Lane Hosler right now is still out on track. See a lot of damage to the right side of that machine. as well as to the rear bumper. But with 12 laps to go, unless that motor has blown up on you, you are running this thing to the end no matter what. While all this is going on, it looks like Jeremy LaRocque has gotten himself back onto the lead lap in that 15 machine. He is currently sitting P12, P11 now, as James Rayburn is in the pits, getting a little bit of damage fixed on that machine. 12 drivers are on the lead lap. The next one is Shane Calhoun in the 11. He is currently, I believe, 4 laps back at the moment. But up front, Jeremy Morrison didn't have the best restart, but he was able to hound that 7 machine to James Nelson and was able to take advantage of a slight slip up by that 7 in order to get the lead. But we are 10 laps to go, folks, still under yellow here. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight and spending this race with me. It's been fun. I've loved filling in for your regularly scheduled broadcaster of Tony Trapasso. Right now, though, folks, I am happy to be up in the booth with you. We've seen a fantastic show. These guys have done a great job in these trucks at such a difficult short track like Bristol. Once again, I need to ask everybody to please like and share and comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It helps so much with the algorithms on getting our content here at Sim Racing Media out to the world and to everybody looking anything up on iRacing. The more comments and shares and interactions that we get on these broadcasts, the algorithm helps push it further out to the world to anybody looking up iRacing content, and helps us grow, helps us get some new leagues involved, bring in new sponsors and partners, and help us bring more content to you all every single night of the week. As the pace lights are off, the 75 of Morrison is your control car. James Nelson trying to redeem himself after that little slip up he had. Morrison gets the launch. Nelson does a good job trying to stay with him. The 18, though, of Trevor Ryan is all over the back bumper of that 7 machine. He's got the outside of the 52 of Ken Aylin. 7 got to the rear bumper, not able to hold it, but here comes the dive coming out of turn 4. The 7 gets to the inside, doesn't get himself there. Had to check up a little bit through the center of the corner. Here comes the 18 of Trevor Ryan, trying to hold that inside line of the 7. Right behind them, this 82 of Larry Stubblefield. As this battle's going on, we have 5.5 laps to go, folks. The 18 gets clear of the 7. Trevor Ryan has 5 laps now to catch that 75 of Jeremy Morrison, who is now pulled out to a 4/10 of a second lead. Just behind him, Larry Stubblefield gets ahead of Nelson. These top 5 have broken away by over a second on the 888 of Sammy Dale. This fight right now between Aylin and Nelson, one of the closest battles. Trevor Ryan trying to hold off the 82 of Larry Stubblefield with 3 laps to go. Jeremy Morrison is loving what he's seeing in his rearview mirror as he gets popsicle sticks this time. He wants to see Ryan and Stubblefield fight it out between each other. That's going to allow him to pull away. But Trevor Ryan does a great job getting back to his rear bumper. White flag in the air. Trevor Ryan's there. The 82 with a big dive underneath. Morrison does a great job rotating down to the bottom. He's going to try and hold that 18 on the high side. Morrison does a great job. He's got the nose. Is he going to get it? Give the win to the 75 of Trevor Morrison in a photo finish. What a fight between him and Trevor Ryan. Larry Stubblefield comes home in P3. tried his hardest, was right there if something was going to happen between those two leaders. Just not close enough. Rounding out the rest of your top 5 is Ken Ayland in the 52 and the 7 of James Nelson. Jeremy Morrison, though, folks, your winner here tonight at Bristol, out of Ontario. We're going to jump down and see if we can get any of those drivers. Let's see if we can get them to jump up here with us. If not, we'll go to him. We'll jump down to Jeremy here right now and see what we've got. Jeremy Morrison, Greg McConey up in the SRM broadcast booth, man. Congratulations on your win. How are you feeling?
Wow, that was pretty wild. That's a first for me. It's been a long time coming in this league. It's a good league, and man, wow.
You had a heck of a fight to hold off that 18 there. We saw you pull out to about half a second, and then that 18 was able to drive himself back up there. Tell us, walk us through those last few laps, man.
He had 12-lap newer tires. I mean, I got lucky getting away, but I knew I didn't have the tires, and I seen him coming, and I knew when I got the last lap, he got to the outside, and I squeezed him. I know I squeezed him. I think it would have been close at the line, but I did squeeze him coming out of 4 a bit. But it was interesting. I knew they were coming. I got lucky on the pit cycles to get in the top 5 there, and just took advantage of the tires that I had at the time.
Well, man, you did a fantastic job. You pinched him. You did everything you needed to do to bring this machine home tonight on the podium for the win. Who do you need to thank?
First off, we need to thank Fred Garcia for putting on the league and hosting the league for us. I'd like to thank the girlfriend for allowing me the opportunity to race every Monday night and spend time on iRacing, and my daughter she loves watching me race, and my rest of the family, and of course the fellow competitors that race here in this league. They're a great group of guys.
Well, Jeremy, your daughter's going to get to go celebrate and see Daddy in victory lane. Bringing home the checkered flag. Congratulations again. Jeremy Morrison, folks, your winner here tonight at Bristol for round 7 of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Congratulations, my friend. Go celebrate.
Thank you very much, and thank you guys for broadcasting this.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to try and pull in your remaining 2. Let's see if we can get Trevor Ryan up here as well as Larry Stubblefield. Let's see. Just trying to coordinate some stuff real quick. Let's see. I see Trevor down there. He's talking with a couple of other folks. Let me see. Sorry about this, guys. I don't have admin powers. Normally, I'm able to move everybody around exactly where I want them to be, but tonight I'm not so lucky to have those admin powers. There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, P2 tonight goes to this 18 machine of Trevor Ryan. Trevor, man, you put on a heck of a comeback there at the end. I thought you were going to get him. We all thought you were going to get him. Walk us through those last few laps.
Yeah, I wasn't sure coming to that last restart there if I was going to have anything, but man, the outside, you can get such a good run, and Jeremy was being a little defensive, kind of trying to run low, but also, he was running high enough that he was still getting a decent run, and I just knew on the last lap that I had to go for the outside. He was leaving a truck, at least a truck gap. I had to go for it. Fortunately, we all made it out, and the fastest truck there at the end won. I couldn't have done anything different. He did a great job. So congratulations to Jeremy on that one. That was a lot of fun.
Man, we saw you guys up front all night long, running a fantastic race. Tell us how this track changed for you guys over the course of that long run that you saw, and especially with everybody coming in for those green flag stops.
It was nice as the track transitioned to nighttime and the track temp came down. I'm not very good at running the top here at Bristol, even with the progressive banking. I've always been better at the bottom. So as the track cooled down, I felt like I was able to make more and more speed as the night went on, being able to just hook the bottom, and almost had enough.
Well, you were right there at the end, talking to our winner tonight. Jeremy kept commenting how you had the fresher tires. He had his eyes on the mirror watching you the whole time. You came in tonight with a 48-point lead in the series. You've got another great race tonight going into week 8, which I believe you guys are at Martinsville next week, another short track. How are you going to prepare for that race?
I think I'm a little better at Martinsville than I am at Bristol, so I'm hoping to have another good result there. I'm just trying to string together good results here at the end, not necessarily worried about going for broke. I just want to kind of bring the truck home and kind of ride that little bit of a buffer that I've got to the end here. Hopefully I can bring the championship home.
Well, Trevor, you had a great race. You got another solid points night going on. Who do you need to thank for tonight's performance?
I want to thank, friends, family, my teammate Tom Richter for racing with me every week and finding this league. I'd like to thank Freddie for running this whole place and all the drivers here. This is a really fun place to come race, and I'd like to thank you guys for always doing the broadcast. It's always a great time to come back and watch these after the fact.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations again. Once again, everybody, your P2 finisher, Trevor Ryan, your points leader, still in the series tonight. Good luck next week at Martinsville, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right. It doesn't look like we are going to be able to get a discussion with our third place finisher tonight of Larry Stubblefield. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining tonight. We saw a fantastic race for the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. These guys put on a heck of a show at a very difficult racetrack of Bristol Motor Speedway. I need to thank you all for coming out and joining us. I appreciate everybody that was here and commenting in the YouTube chat. Once again, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, your relatives, your cousins, your grandma, your neighbor down the road, whoever you need to tell, whoever you want to tell. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share it. It helps us out so much. Once again, I need to say a huge thank you to the folks at CleanRacing.net, the whole series, for letting me join them tonight. We need to thank our partner for the series at Ringside Report Network. Thanks to them, we were able to help put on tonight's broadcast. I hope you had fun. I had an absolute blast watching this race. And once again, folks, thank you so much. My name's Greg McConey, and before I leave you tonight, I need to give you one final reminder, and that is to keep your foot to the floor, keep the car off the wall, and we'll see you back here at SRM. Good night, everybody.